Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Franklin Township Board of Trustees meeting. Today is January 8th, 2026. It is now approximately 12:01. If anyone wants to speak as far as at today's meeting, please sign up here at the table. Or did we already pull that?
No, it's still there.
It's still there. And can you hand that up here too?
Yes.
I reminded everybody as I walked.
Okay.
Nobody on.
And if someone is unable to attend the meeting, submit your comments, questions for the board to the trustee via the email that is provided if everyone picked up an agenda. Also, if anyone has comments or they need to sidebar or talk to anyone, please just step in the vestibule if you can so that we keep side chatter down to a minimum. I will open us in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and the opportunities to come and serve our community as other communities are engaged in uproar and different activities that has happened and who's at fault and someone has lost a life. Lord, may we focus on our community and what our community needs. And Lord, we thank you this day. Amen. Amen. Okay, pledge allegiance is Jim. Okay. Counted and present for, right?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Ma'am, a roll call when ready.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
Trustee Blevins,
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
And for the first time, yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Okay, at this time every year, we realign the board, and I'm going to turn this over to Robin to take this part in. And what this does is for the 2026, and if you will take it from there.
And so we're going to, it's called reorganization of the board. And so what I will do is I will ask for the board themselves to provide nominations for the position of chairman for 2026. So would anyone like to place nomination on the table?
Anyone have a nomination?
I do.
Speak?
Can I speak on it too?
Yeah, you can speak
It's-
on
you
it.
got the table, ma'am.
You got the table.
So, okay, John, you know, you are an awesome chairman.
Well, thank you.
And, you know, I've always praised how you run the meetings and everything. I think it might be time to train Mike to do it.
I have mentioned to Mike before, I've only done it 1 year at a time. In the 12 years that I've been, this is my 13th year, I think I've only been chairman 3 times. I don't expect to continue this year as chairman. I'm open are you open to wanting to be chairman?
So are you going to give a nomination of my name that you want me to do it?
I will, yes.
I'll accept it.
Okay, so is there any other question on said matter?
No.
Vote, please.
So I just want to make sure I got it right. So Trustee Fuller put it on the table as a nomination. You seconded the nomination.
Yes.
So we just need to vote. Okay, Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
Trustee Blevins,
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
And go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry.
So based on the nominations and the vote, the chairman for 2026 will be Trustee Blevins.
Correct.
Okay, now we're going to accept nominations for vice chairman for 2026. Any nominations on the table?
I would like the floor if it's okay with everybody.
Okay.
So the reason that I took the chairman this year is because I've been here 2 years and I've been fortunate enough to work and watch James did it the first year, and I watched John last year, and I gained a lot of knowledge. But I would really appreciate it if everybody's okay with it. I would like to nominate John as the vice chair because I think it would be valuable to the community and everybody to have him in that seat to help give me guidance, if that all makes sense to everybody. So my nomination for vice chair would be John Fleshman.
Okay. So what I would like to do is, it's up to you two if that's what you would like. But I am curious, Brenda, would you feel confident? I mean, today's your first day. And the only reason I say that
Your eyes are so big.
is,
New glasses.
No, they're lovely.
I've served in both roles and et cetera. And Mike, I would appreciate, I have no problem doing
I'll
that
work with
role.
either one of you. It
Right,
doesn't matter
right.
to me, but
But-
it just makes sense to me, so.
You know, from where I've served with so many different people and different avenues, and we have, you know, a new board this year. This might be advantageous to give you an opportunity to go a direction that you might want to hit the ground running. It's up to you. If you know, some people are like, let me get a year in to understand everything, and I would understand that. I'm not going to refuse it, but what I would like to do, I recognize the direction in which the two of you working together could go. So I would leave that open to you and your feelings.
Okay, one, I would prefer you to be co-chair. Two, it's us working together. It's all of us,
Sure.
not just me and you or me and Mike. It's all three of us
Sure.
that have a responsibility to serve the residents of Franklin Township.
Correct. So, you know, I'll let y'all,
Well, we just need
I
a
would
second.
like
Yeah.
to second John being co-chair.
Okay.
are there any, this is my last being able to say this. So are there any other comments or questions in said motion? Hearing none, I'd ask for a roll call.
All right. Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
Trustee Blevins,
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Okay, so in can't even say it, realigning the board, we're gonna set this up so, Mr. Chairman, I get to be the first one, we're gonna move chairs
We're
around.
gonna do it?
We're
All right,
gonna
give me
do
just one
this.
second for the official
Oh, okay.
minutes. That based on the nominations and based on the vote, the 2026 vice chairman will be Trustee Fleshman.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I thank the board that I've currently worked with and everything that we've got accomplished. And if I can be in guidance on helping as far as like, how do we come across this or that, I'd be more than happy to do that. If, Mr. Chairman, if you wish, do you want to align the table the way?
I'll go there if that's what, is it okay to stay here? But if it's not, I will move there. I'm ready to do
Well,
it.
in general purposes, any meetings that you go to, the chairman's in the center, and to the right is the vice chair. So anyone that we're dealing with from the outside public perspective, they know exactly who the chairman and who
We're all
the
gonna
vice
slide
chairman.
right, and Brenda's gonna come around.
Exactly.
So, do musical chairs.
Let's
Yes.
get it done.
All right.
Well, you don't have to go too far.
No,
That's not
thanks
fair.
for keeping my spot warm.
Well, no, you're bringing your own chair with you.
I know, but you then took up the area and body heat.
Okay.
So do you want one of these or do you want to go off your?
No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to go off of a paper packet. I'm gonna be fumbling and bumbling. Ma'am, I'm gonna have to rely heavily on you to get me through this first one, and I'll get myself. So I'm not going to use the tablet today,
Okay.
and I'll go off of so I'm
Looks like
assuming.
we're going to old business
Move
first.
to old business. Okay, so, well, first of all, I want to say, John, I wanted to add one statement to what you said, and then we're going to old business, is you don't let go of 12 years' experience. You keep 12 years of experience
Yeah.
with you, so you can, there's probably not many things that's going to come across this table that you haven't seen.
Sure.
So I wanted to say that. So old business,
And then, sir, if I can make one last comment?
sure.
Being chairman, some people do it for the wrong reasons. I've seen people that their identity is chairman of Franklin Township. It's an honor to be chairman, but there's a responsibility to be the chairman. And a lot of the things that I've learned is from other chairmen that I've put together, and that's kind of what rounded me of things that I like or how to present in a meeting. So I do believe that it should switch every year unless it's the flavor of the board and the person that is chair that wishes to do it again. So thank you, sir.
Yep. So we're going to go to old business, motion to approve 2026 meeting calendar, times of the meetings. So what I'd like to do is open this up for discussion among the board. So we have to set the calendar every first meeting of the year in order to conduct business. And so whoever wants to speak on this matter first, or I think all three of us have an input, so how do you guys want to do it? Do you want to?
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yes, sir.
in the past, we've had people that say they like the evening meetings. We've had people say they like the afternoon meetings. And one of the things that we've seen people that don't like to drive in the dark and cold in the winter, and I see hot heads motioning in our own situation here. Last year, as you are aware, we altered the meetings throughout the summer. And as much as I like the afternoon meetings, if I just personally said, no, I want to see all afternoon meetings, and someone says, no, all I want to see is evening meetings, I think we're going to do a disjustice to everyone, where if we meet in the middle and we split them in the summertime, that we can go back and forth. I think for our staff, which they are staff, but sometimes it's easier on the staff when they are in the afternoon. My consensus is, is it like mine for the board to craft our meeting minutes similar to we did last year? And as you served last year on that, it seemed to curb the appetite of the residents that did get to attend. I remember one person that came and spoke at the podium, they called me, and that's when they had the issue with the I can't remember the road that goes down where the quarry they're filling in.
Richter?
Richter. And when he contacted me, he goes, well, I work second shift. I can't be there at 5 o'clock. I said, well, the next meeting we're at noon. So he came in and spoke on it. So that's the only reference that I have that helped out the public, that we weren't just one way, we were both ways. So if you couldn't make one meeting, you were able to make another meeting.
So I'd like to ask you from a historical perspective, and you're going to have the knowledge, at what administrative point did it become moved from the night meetings to daytime meetings and to calling them business meetings and things like that? Can you help me with that?
Sure. I don't know exactly what year that we started doing that. I know we did it for some time in the evening, even when I first started, and we played around with different times. We did 5, we did 5:30, we've done 6:30. One of the things that I did find out when we were doing them in the evenings, we're moving them different times in the evenings. I can recall some residents upset because they didn't get home till 5:30, so they couldn't make it at 5:30. So we made it 6:30, and then we never did see those residents come to meetings. So we try to accommodate, and when you try to accommodate everybody, there's going to be someone that's going to be unhappy.
Sure. So what I'm trying to get to is, I'll just spell it out. Is it at the beginning of Mr. Leeser's regime that the meetings went from from nights to days? Was it Mr. Alex's? How far back, do you have recollection how far back that was?
It could have been the last year. Can you help me out, ma'am?
I already worked a full-time job, so I don't
So,
believe it was during
okay.
Mr.
So it may have
Alex's.
been. It may
So,
have been.
and I know that he worked a
In my
daytime.
recollection, I started as chief, and when I first started coming to meetings, they were in the evenings. And then as our administrator and Leeser's term kind of combined, and the administrator, Steve, kind of got under, that's when it made the switch.
So I'm going to make this statement. John brought this up. Our department heads and our employees, it would be better for them in the day. Unfortunately, we serve the public, and I think all of our staff is more than willing to be accommodating and come in the evenings. So the meetings were always in the evening up until the time Mr. Leeser came on board and he had a full-time job and he crafted the meetings to fit what worked for him and his business, and it doesn't make sense to me. You know when the meetings are. Why would you run for township trustee and then come in and change it to where you could attend the meetings? And then at that, I would say he had a hard time making the ones that he changed it to. So if we're doing a vote or an up and down, I would be interested in moving the meetings to the evening. I think last year when you brought up, John, that we did vote and changed some of the meetings to daytime. I'm not sure that we did that at the original setting of the calendar.
We didn't.
We changed it in midstream. So my feelings are, if the public comes around in the next 2 to 3 months, 6 months, and says, you know, we would like to start having meetings, split them afternoons, I think as a board, we would be more than open to listen to that. So that's my discussion. So I would turn it over to you, Brenda.
Okay, so, you know, I run a separate page for the township, and I put a poll on there, and I asked the community how they would prefer the meetings. There were 20 votes. Grant, that's not a lot, but out of 20 votes, 18 voted for evening. 2 voted for daytime. But while I was out campaigning, you know, and I spoke to numerous people, and they're like, you need to change the meetings so that we can come. We work, you know, and, you know, that's what the community has stated to me that they would prefer. And like Mike said, that if it doesn't work out, then at some point, 6 months, we decide, we look at it and we say, you know, we're not really having a turnout, it's the same people, you know, and then we figure out if we want to do it split again. And I don't have a problem with the split.
I have no problem either way. I'm gonna vote yes for the meetings, no matter how it comes across the table. It doesn't matter to me. You know, the statements that I made, we're never gonna make everybody happy. I know what we saw last time we split them, the same people. We have the same core group of people that tend to come to the meeting. It's up to the public to put their input in. I'm not gonna ask anyone to speak on this or try to get any influence. As the chairman has said, we can always change it midsummer if we wish to. Just the thing that I know, when we had a lot of older people that now can't come anymore, that some of my neighbors, they don't like to drive at night when it's dark, the cold, and etc. So that's the only reason that I was mentioning for the winter time that we have left until it's lighter. But I'll leave that for the board to decide.
I'm gonna call the question. Is that,
Okay?
are you good with that?
Well, yes. Go ahead.
No, if there's more discussion, let's do it.
Well, my suggestion would be also that if we were to move them to evenings, that we don't start it until the first meeting of February. That gives time to get the word out to everybody, or
That's a month.
however
That's
we
a month.
decide that
You
we
know what I
want to
mean?
change these.
So,
And then also, gentlemen, I apologize, board members, I gotta get used to changing that word. We have not discussed, what time frame are we looking at in the evenings?
oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was, you're correct, John. I thought we were starting at 6. It had not been discussed, and the reason I thought 6 is because they seemed, you were correct, though. There was a time when they were 5, 5:30, 6, and 6:30. So I would say, are you guys good with 6 o'clock?
I'm plenty good with 6. That doesn't keep people too late.
Right.
And then what we have seen when the meetings are in the evenings, A lot of times, people, not saying the people that are here, but you'll get 9 million different excuses. It's like inviting someone to a wedding and they have all this other reasons they can't make it. There's a lot of activities through the summer at certain times and things of that nature, and they can't. So I think 6 is right there in a sweet spot, because you're trying to say it's not too late, but yet you have time to get home at 5, get dinner, and get here. So I think 6 is an appetizing time frame.
So I'm gonna take my first shot at this, okay? You
Yeah. If
critique
you
me and
need-
get me
I-
along the
no.
way.
I won't interfere unless you have a question.
Okay.
And then, sir, if I may?
Yeah.
Generally, when I was chairman, the past practice has been, when you read something, the chairperson is the only person that seconds it, and if they don't second it, then it goes to the third trustee. If the third trustee does not second it, then it dies of a second.
That's how you taught me.
Is that how you wish to proceed?
Oh, I didn't know I had to let you know, yeah.
No, you have any way to run it
Oh,
the way
okay.
you want.
I'm happy to do it that way just because you guys the last 2 years taught me
Sure.
to be like that. When I sat in Brenda's seat, I knew to pay attention, because if it was important to me and you or James in that seat didn't second it, I wasn't going to let it die of a lack of not us having a second. So
Okay,
that I agree with you,
Sure.
and I would like it to continue
sure,
that
I just
way.
wanted to make sure my role is correct.
No, that's perfect. So we're gonna give this a shot?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board makes a motion to accept the 2026 calendar meeting as, I have to stop here and interject that we're changing the meetings, or do I read this in full? Because it,
I could read it. and
no, I
then-
can read
Okay.
it. Go ahead, you read it, Robin.
And then we'll just need to modify that we're accepting the calendar, and then we'll just modify the fact that of eating meetings starting on, that would be February the 5th at 6 PM. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and read it, and then you guys can critique me if I need
Yes.
to. Okay, so this is a motion to accept the 2026 meeting calendar and time. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board makes a motion to accept the 2026 meeting calendar as the official record reflecting the regular meetings scheduled for the year of 2026. This calendar will also be placed on the township website for public notice. In addition, the meetings will be moved to evening, beginning on the February 5th meeting, and the meetings will be proceeding at 6 PM moving forward.
I accept as read.
You might want to say, if there's no further questions.
Oh, there's questions again. I'm
No, no,
good.
no. You might say, if there's no further questions, then call for a second.
You accept it as read.
Okay,
Yeah, you
I accept
accepted
it as read. If there are any further questions,
Ask for a second.
I'll ask for a second.
Sir, I will second that.
Roll call.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
Trustee Blevins,
Yes,
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Okay.
so are these things in order then? Is that what I'm doing? Okay. Motion to approve November 2025 banquet reconciliation.
Reconciliation.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so this is the, just before we read it, this is the exhibit that we received from Mr. Kirby, so we can start with Brenda. This is the information he puts together every month to show that we've reconciled our bank books. This is UAN to our bank at PNC, so it shows that everything's balanced for the month.
Have we received, ma'am, if I may, have we received emails? I don't recall that particular email. Normally that's sent over for us to review it ahead of time.
It's probably on me,
Okay.
because he sent it right in between the Christmas and New Year.
Okay.
He did send it out.
I just didn't know if I
So
missed
if you're not
something.
comfortable.
No,
we can
I'm
wait.
comfortable.
Okay. I understand because
Yeah.
I do believe he sent it. So he didn't drop the ball, I believe that I
I
did.
just don't want to drop the ball on my end.
No, no.
Did I miss something that
No,
I
sir.
was supposed to be there? Because I pride myself in making sure I get back to phone calls, emails,
Understood.
messages, and I didn't know.
So I'd made a note to make sure it got on the agenda, but I didn't forward it to you. But I'll still forward it so
Sure.
that way Ms. Fuller can even look at it as well. If you don't feel comfortable signing it and you want me to table it to the next meeting, I'm happy to do that.
Ma'am, I'm perfectly fine with that once we take a view, because we're balancing, and that's pretty much where we're at.
And we've been doing this every month as required by the auditors of the state, the high revised code. Mr. Kirby comes in and he actually will be coming in, I think, tomorrow. And then he's in another date at the end of the month as well. So I'll go ahead and read them.
I'm gonna lead through it just real quick.
So let me go, while you're reading through that, I'll go ahead and read the motion. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board makes a motion to accept the November 2025 bank reconciliation prepared by Chris Kirby, our traveling fiscal clerk.
Yeah, moving forward, please make sure that I get this in advance. I understand and everything, but I really have a hard time.
Well, we can table it.
No, it's all
I
good.
would suggest if you're not comfortable, I
It
don't
isn't
want
that I'm not comfortable, it's just I just wanna, I'm probably gonna ask this multiple times today about this, is I do not like to be sitting here and doing it this way, but I'm comfortable to do it, and it's called a business meeting for a reason. So, okay, ma'am, go ahead.
So do you accept it as read?
I do.
Okay. We just need it. Is there any more discussion?
Now, any further
questions?
discussion? Oh.
Would you
and-
like me helping you? 'Cause
No, no, I
don't-
do, so
Okay.
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
not,
No worries, just take your
You're
time.
doing fine.
any further discussion?
Hearing none.
Hearing none,
Last person.
I'll ask for a second.
Sir, I'll second.
I'll ask for a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
Trustee Blevins,
Yes,
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
so you'll sign then, John, and then I'll sign, and Brenda will sign, and we turn it back. I think you had asked for that to be done a different way, for like
Yes.
line by line.
Yeah, because it's
Can
like
we get
which,
that done?
UAN generates that report, but I can make a separate sheet.
and then affix it to this, correct?
Right, I mean,
Okay.
I would just
Moving
attach it.
forward?
Yeah.
Moving forward, can we do that?
Yeah,
And then,
That would-
I mean, that
ma'am,
just generates out of UAN, but
generally,
certainly.
the chairperson is on top,
Hmm?
so I only have 2 lines, so I'm just gonna pick
Sure,
out of these categories, which side would you like, over here or over here,
I
does it
would do the
matter?
left side, it's
Or
fine.
left?
Mm-hmm,
Then I'm gonna go ahead and read this so we can keep this meeting moving. Motion to approve elected officials payroll for December 2025.
okay.
And then, ma'am, I'm gonna turn that over to you.
Okay. All right, so be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board makes a motion to approve the township officials' payroll during the period of December 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, in the amount of $9,323.50. Direct deposit was ACH on December the 31st. Electronic vouchers 3280-2025 through 3283-2025. And the reason these are under the old business is because it's 2025.
Correct.
Okay,
Any questions?
you accept as read?
Oh. I accept it as read.
Mm-hmm.
Then, any questions? Hearing.
Question.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
Should I vote on that?
You should not,
Okay,
because it was in 2025. That's a good question.
okay.
Any other
Ask for-
questions?
no, no, I.
No, no, no.
Not-
For you.
Oh, okay.
So ask for, you need a second?
No, is there any more questions? Not hearing any, I'll ask for a second.
I'll second.
Okay.
Roll call.
Mm-hmm. Trustee Fleshman?
Yes.
Trustee Blevins?
Yes.
Trustee Fuller?
I recuse myself.
And do you mind to make a statement why, just on record?
I'm recusing myself because I was not employed here at that time.
Or you were not a trustee at that time?
Right, I
You were
was not a
elected.
trustee at that time.
Yes.
So you're not in office in 2025. Gotcha. All right. Thank you.
You want to take number 5, ma'am?
Yes. So, again, this is another, function that was in 2025. That's why it's under old business. This is be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board makes a motion to approve accounts payable from December the 9th through December the 31st, the amount of $108,802.56 from electronic payment vouchers 3159-2025 through 3304-2025, and the exhibits on the back.
I already looked at it yesterday.
So do you accept as read?
I accepted red.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any discussion?
Again, should I recuse myself?
Yes,
This
sir.
is,
That's for 2025.
yes, you're correct, Brenda. Hearing no question, I'll call for roll, or I call for
Second.
second.
Sir, I'll second that.
Roll call.
Trustee Fleischman?
Yes.
Trustee Blevins?
Yes.
Trustee Fuller?
I recuse myself because I was not a trustee at that time in 2025.
Moving forward, discussion update on audit. Did you want to start off with discussion, Mr. Fleischman?
That would be great. I didn't read the full scope of the audit as far as a statement.
Excuse me, we've missed
Hold
something.
on a second.
There's number 5.
Yeah.
I thought number 5 was the one that you just read, ma'am.
No, sir.
What-
That was a
Number
motion.
6. Number 6 is the
No, we're on
discussion
number,
on audit.
yeah, but we just got done doing accounts payables for 2025. And so number 5, resolution.
Okay,
So,
then I don't need to rescind it because we didn't vote on it or anything, so
Yeah, I
go
just-
ahead with number 5, ma'am.
so what this is we received a email from the, it's the local One Ohio, and which is basically the national opioid, part of the
Oh.
opioid settlement. And back in, they're asking for an update on the representative. And back in whatever the resolution is, back in 2023, we had, the board had appointed, at that time, James Leeser as the representative for the One Ohio on behalf of Franklin Township. And so now that we have a new board, we need to update with One Ohio, we need to amend the resolution and provide them with new information on who would be the new person to represent the township on this board for the national opioid settlement.
So, Mr. Chairman, I would gladly, if I had more room in my day, with the meetings and et cetera, at this point, with the casino,
Sure.
with Westland Mall and keeping that abreast. I know you got a full schedule. Ms. Fuller, is that something that, I don't know what it all entails. I don't recall getting any updates from Mr. Leeser to the board. I don't know if it's more just a name in case they have a question. Would you be honored or,
I would be honored to step up and be the new representative.
so Mr. Chairman?
Would you like to craft a
Yeah.
resolution,
Sure.
it'd be a
Yes, ma'am.
motion, would it?
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
I've got a resolution already.
Oh, you
ready.
have it?
So if you.
Okay.
Because we're amending.
Yeah, so if you would happen to read that resolution for us, please?
So this is Resolution 2026-001. It's a resolution amending Resolution 2023-015, appointing a new representative with the National Opioid Settlement. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board approves to hereby and amend Resolution 2023-015 by removing James Leeser as the authorized representative for Franklin Township with respects to the National Opioid Settlement, commonly known as One Ohio, effective January 1st, 2026. Be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees approves the following trustee to be the new authorized representative for Franklin Township in regards to One Ohio, effective January 1st, 2026. So I've just listed all names because I didn't know who would be selected. So am I marking Trustee Fuller?
Yes,
as the
ma'am.
new person?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So we're gonna mark that, and then we're just gonna wrap up the resolution. Be it resolved that all former actions of this board concerning and relating to this resolution were passed in an open meeting of the board, and that all deliberations of this board and any of its committees that resulted in such former action were in a meeting open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall be declared an emergency and be in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption.
I accept as read. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'd ask for a second.
I'll second that, sir.
Roll call, ma'am.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
trustee Blevins,
Yes.
trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Are you good with, we're at number 6 now, ma'am, just to make sure I'm on track?
Yeah, so, do you want me to pass these
We
along?
can pass them down however you'd like to do
So if
it.
you don't mind signing this page back here with the green tag, because that's the agreement,
Thank you.
and then that's the resolution on the top. So Brenda, you just have 2 places to sign, and the other trustees would have 1.
Discussion update on audit, sir, and I'm gonna go back to you if you're
Yes,
good
sir.
with that.
Sir, you tell me when, sir.
I'm ready when you are.
Floor's mine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so an update on the audit. I want to clarify this whole audit procedure, and I'm going to start from the beginning. I can't tell you the exact year, and I'm saying this a lot for the people that may be watching this on YouTube and upset. Way back when, we had a fiscal officer that I was in a meeting and I was just coming out of a meeting and I got a desperate phone call from our assistant chief from the fire department, Adams at the time, and saying that the phone service was just cut off. He looked into it immediately and it was due to lack of payment. Now, we know what the funds are. We knew we had the funds. And he's like, either you get this on immediately or he's going to use his credit card to get it on because the fire department, obviously, 911 calls and et cetera, we need to be, obviously up and running. So at that point, there was some other innuendos and things that I'm seeing that we're getting late fees as we come across the table. So I took it upon myself to file an affidavit along with my neighbors and anyone else that wanted, or when I say neighbors, I should say residents, and we turned that in. Over 2 years went by, nothing was being done. There had been a change of guards with the state auditor. Eventually, we got auditors in here, and they tore through everything for 4+ years. And it cost this township dearly of approximately $400,000.
It was a lot of money.
I don't know exact total that we paid to have that done. Monies were through a bonding process for the fiscal officer. Money was recouped. I myself had a finding for $1,100 and some odd dollars. When I got my letter last Saturday, Monday morning, I came in and took care of it. Mine personally was, as you heard, we just read off for the payroll and et cetera. When someone goes out of office and they come back in office, if Congress has voted on a raise, the next person that sits in this person's seat. So if I'm sitting in a seat as I was last year and now I'm a new trustee, I go with the new pay, which is generally a few $100s more a year or so. So mine was, I was given that raise. I didn't realize it because it was smaller. And so for 4 years, they calculated it before I was allowed to have it. So I repaid mine. Majority of the issues that the auditor has found had to do with clerical, as far as were they able to contracts. I'll give you an example. I argued the point. Contracts for a particular union. People, when we agree on a contract, that contract starts that day. So if you have vacation time, sick time, any of that you want to use, you should be able to use it. So that's what people did. So the auditor said, no, you had to wait a year before you could use it. So therefore, the people that used their vacation or sick or comp time or however it worked, any of those hours were going to have to be paid back. So a lot of this was different procedures in which they looked at was different. Yes, we have commented on all 100 findings, and I think the ladies that worked on that diligently, we responded to every one of those, and they are a cliff note underneath each charge saying exactly what we've done to be able to put safeguards in place that can't be done. one of the things that we did right away was put a handbook together. We took all the recommendations that the state auditor has sent our way. We've taken it to heart, and we have put those procedures into place. So we've come a long ways from where we were when I first took the helm of a trustee. And a lot of people, when you come on, as Mr. Blevins says, I do have the experience from 13 years of knowing where we were and where we're coming. I learned it as I went along, and some of the things were not being done. And when they weren't being done, I did report that. We kind of get chastised that this is, see, let me get the comment right. In my 40 years, this has to be the worst condition I've ever seen of any township. Well, when you're begging for help because you see stuff that is not right, and you're put off for 2+ years to get someone in, that just doesn't set well. I don't know how someone can make that comment, but so be it. What I do feel confident in is the ability of this township, the people we have in place, where we were and where we are going. I've always told people this motive in life, and don't judge me on what I did. Judge me on what I did after you let me know. Where we are now, as far as, and when I say judge us, look at the findings and look underneath and look at not what we're saying we're going to do, look at our actions of what we put into place and what we're doing. It's not for us, it's for the further people that sit up here, the further people in life that run this township and protect the taxpayers' dollars. I will say this, no tax dollars were ever stolen. No tax dollars were ever, in my opinion, misused. The tax dollars for some of the things that we are cited is procedures, using the credit card. Did you go A, B, and C when you turned in that receipt? If you missed one of the hurdles first, then they want to take that against the person that used that. So it's all about the procedures, and some of the stuff I feel wasn't right, but that's not my decision. But none of the money, in my opinion, was ever abused or stolen, because we do not have any actions against anyone or any fiscal officer of money being stolen or taken. Yes, we may go down as a township that had a lot of errors as far as procedures, but you're not going to see us in the news as a particular township or city or village that they took $1 million. I can pride ourselves as a board members that no one got $1 million out from under our nose. What did happen was late fees where a fiscal officer did not pay the things in time, turned things in late, and we had penalties. Now, what does that mean to the taxpayers? The bonding agency made those fees pay back to us. They go after the fiscal officer. That's why we're all bonded that sits up here. If one of us was to steal money, the bonding company would make the township whole. So the trust as far as the public and where our tax dollars went, we're not missing anything. Is that correct, ma'am? That you're aware of?
No, I'm not aware of, yeah.
Before I end, is there anyone else want to add to what I may have missed? Or do you feel my comments that I covered everything as far as the audit?
I'm going to make a comment.
Sure.
I mean,
I am finished, sir, and I
Okay.
turn the floor over to you.
sure. So I just jotted down a few things. So I came in 2 years ago, and one of the very first meetings that I sat in on was a proposed finding for recovery meeting, and the audit was supposed to be coming to an end. I want to tell you that the audit that just ended is 161 pages. 161 pages, this is what it looks like. And in that audit, they found 108 findings. They also found 66 findings for recovery. In that meeting that I sat in 2 years ago, the notes on it says notice of proposed findings, and that meeting, they were at 200,000. And with the 66 findings, it's a little over 60,000, or 600, I don't have the amount.
It's 66,000
Okay,
for the current.
so am I correct on my 108, or is that where I'm getting the 66? Did you?
108 was the
The
issue
findings.
findings that we responded to.
And
Correct.
that's and that's the note I have underneath here. At this time, I would like to thank the clerical department. They answered every one of these findings. They had a few days to get an answer in, and they were called into a meeting with the trustees and asked to take this task on, and they did it. And they got back with the auditors, and then we basically came down. They kicked some of those back, and we had 24 hours to get it in. So as a township, we didn't stand by. We had the option of standing by and not making any comments, just let the audit go through with no comments. But the board decided, and the clerical department got the work knocked out. And so I just want to make sure to say thank you to the clerical department for getting that done. And I'm really struck by the fact that 2 years ago, there was a finding for recovery for 200,000, and we're down to 66. And everyone that's came to these meetings the last 2 years has heard me say that I was not kept in the know on everything that was going on. So I cannot sit here and tell you what the difference is. So I just wanted to make sure to get that out there. And you can go online, and if you're a concerned person about your tax dollars and where they go, I would recommend you read this.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may.
Sure.
When you hear the fines for recovery, basically what that means is a lot of our employees, if they, in my opinion, they use time, or for instance, it was up to 200 some thousand. I signed affidavits on as a person that sat through a union contract, and that they were able to use that time. What the fines would have been, that extra $100,000 would have come from employees. And I'm going to say approximately, because I don't want someone coming back saying it was 99 or 80. But that additional money, when you get a FFR, fines for recovery, just like I got, it goes back to the general fund. So basically, if someone was overpaid, that's a fine, and it would go back to the general fund. So it's not a fine that is going to the state or the state auditor. So just to clarify that, sir, I'm finished.
Can I make one?
Yes, ma'am.
Just one correction.
Yes,
For when a findings for recovery, it's based on the department for which the person worked in. So if the findings, I'm not picking on the fire department, I'm just saying that if it was against a fire department employee, when those findings, the funds come back in, they go into the fire fund.
correct. In the
Or they-
fund in which it was
Yeah, so,
expended.
I mean, you're
Yes.
saying general
Yeah.
fund because that's where yours,
Right,
would,
right.
in reference to that.
Good, yes.
So just so people know that it does go back to the
Where it came
account
from.
where it would have been, where the auditors determined that it was not appropriately used that.
Yes.
Yeah, just to correct that real quick.
I'm good, so,
That was just a discussion, so.
yep, I gotta turn this back over now and get back to,
I believe, sir, that we are going on number 7, sir.
oh, okay,
Old business
that's
number
what
7.
I've got in front of me. Hold on just one second there. John, this came down the table. I think you need to sign it, and then I need,
There's-
this is mine, and John,
There should be two. You should have
you
two.
have one of these, sir.
Yes,
No, there should be two. There's not two in that pile there.
there's that statement. Oh, there
There
we
you go.
go.
So,
So this is mine to take
yeah,
home?
that for your guys is a part of the audit. That's part of the media release that came out to the public. And, it's pretty abrasive. So just so that you guys know about it, that's all.
Okay, so, motion, a discussion motion, office telephone, and, you wanna take that, sir, because I had worked on it?
Yes.
And just to bring everybody up to date, and you had some changes with people you communicated out in the public and stuff, and so I'm gonna turn it over to you now
Okay.
for the discussion.
So we've kind of hashed this and now we're into a new board. When I was campaigning, we made
Thank you.
changes to the phone lineup, for instance, when someone calls in. I had sent out different messages that come into me, I shared with the board of people having a hard time understanding. We talked about this at a board meeting. The board said, John, you take care of this, you can call, here's who you call. I called the particular gentleman that handles this. He, in my opinion, was very abrasive and said, it's like, no, it's the staff's decision on, we had a meeting and this is what they want to do. And I explained to him that I work for the public and I've had so many comments that the public has a hard time communicating with their township. And there was only a few, and I think I explained to you guys also, I put together a email which I asked, I don't think it went to the rest of the board on the small changes that needed to be. And basically those changes, and in that email I said, no, we don't need to have a meeting amongst the staff to iron this out. It's pretty simple. I'll start from the bottom of my notes. One of the biggest things is when calls come into Nicole, we need to say operator or the township secretary. Majority of the people that are in our township that don't understand administrative, what's that mean? They're lost. The way it runs in a loop, they get confused. I can appreciate my own father being 90, going on 93 years old, and he'll get me going, what's this mean? Which button do I push? A lot of people have a hard time pushing different buttons. And a large majority of our residents are seniors. And if we can make it easy, or they can easily talk to a lovely person such as Nicole, a person's voice that can direct them. So the option for the operator should be around option 5 on the list. When you listen to the phone bank when it comes on, I believe everything that was said was correct as far as if this is an emergency, please hang up. I think it's great that they got information for people. If you want to if you need this or that, click here and it tells you can go to the website. All that's great information. When we get down to the fire department, they have 2 choices. You press 2 for the fire. Not one of those choices will actually ring to the chief's. Chief cannot take a call from a resident without it coming back through Nicole and then Nicole sending it up. So the chief should be getting his calls and be able to leave messages. Road department, they didn't change anything. Jim gets his messages. He answers his phone if he's in there. If not, they leave a voicemail. He returns the call. The building department has 2 options. Same person you're going to talk to, 2 options. If they want to answer 2 different messages, that's great. The police department, same thing. If Chief Smith, someone's calling for Chief Smith, and they push police department, then it should be for lieutenant or for chief, they push 1 or 2. If he's not in, he should be able to leave a message and they can retain their message. The way it is now, it will end up circling back and coming to Nicole. So by making it easier, by these people handling their own messages, it frees up her time. I don't believe that, and the gentleman wanted to argue with me that, well, we don't want 0. Too many people hit 0. Well, that's because they're 80 years old and their whole life, everyone knows hit 0 and you can get someone to help you because all of this isn't making sense. So all I say to the board is, let's make it easier for the residents that do need to call in. Let's just say someone's calling in, they really don't understand. I even like my dad, he still has a flip phone. If it wasn't for Jim Stevens, I would have a flip phone. Make it easier for the people like it was before, because some of these people live in the township, they're second, third generations. Make it easier where if they do want to hit operator or the secretary, that they would hit 0 and they would be able to get a live person fairly quickly. Or leave a message and then they could call back. I don't believe, in a way of looking through this, that it's going to add a terrible burden on the administration staff here. So I'm open for any, and then again, the only way that I knew about this is when I was campaigning, there was people saying there's no way to talk to anybody there. And then I was getting calls going, how do I do this? And I shared those calls with the board previous of them, how confused they were. And that's the only way I knew that it got changed. And to be truthful, the way it was before, I don't even know how it was before. And the only other change is for Brenda Fuller to be on there instead of saying to reach a trustee. There's an option, which I thought was, I didn't even know that option existed. So kudos to you guys that put that on there, because sometimes I ask people, well, how did you get my number? Why did you pick me? And they said, easy name. They all have different,
Sure.
John's an easy name. And a lot of people that because I ask questions when people call, a lot of them get the information from the website. And they just, out of 3, they pick a trustee, they have a problem, they call. So, sir, at this point, I'm finished with that and
Okay,
open.
so I will speak now because I was on the committee that worked on
Yes,
this
sir.
with the gentleman that added that. And so I will ask a couple of questions. So Bob, when we did this phone tree, were you or were you not contacted and asked how you wanted it to be? Did you
Yeah, I
want phone
think
calls
so.
to come to you? We included the department heads.
Yeah.
And you were good with the way it was set up?
Yep.
And Jim, you came into the meeting and sat down with the gentleman, and you wanted yours to stay the exact way it was, and that's what happened, correct?
Correct.
Byron,
Yes.
the way it's set up is the way you were part of the discussion, and the way it's set up is what you wanted it to be set up as,
That's correct.
okay? And so I'm to the point where I'm good with whatever you guys decide. I will do what you did earlier in the meeting. I will go with whatever you guys decide, but let's get this thing and get it put together
I
because
agree.
we are spending so much time
It's crazy.
on stuff that doesn't matter.
I've been working on this now for 4 months.
So I will turn it over. Oh, did you
That's
want to
right.
say more?
I was just gonna say, I've been working on this for 4 months, and I felt that the gentleman has been deliberately kicking the can down the road. And every time I speak to him, he speaks to me, I had to get gruff with him, saying who I am and that we work for the public. I will ask, Bob, is there a reason that you like yours the way it is? Do you not want to take calls from the public?
No, I have a direct phone number and I'm 100%.
But right now,
I would
you
like
can't
to.
get direct, if someone calls 614-279-9411, they cannot get you directly. Your phone will not ring to your
No,
desk.
I'm happy to put myself as an option on there.
Sir, right, same thing, if I call you to try to leave you a message or to call your desk will never ring.
Well, the problem we ran into with ours is 98% of the phone calls I get, I have to forward to somebody else. They're either accidents or somebody wanting to sell us something. So now the accident, those kind of questions will go to Ratliff. And I still get the emails from the vendors, and most of it's for departments much bigger than us. So it's more of a time waster than anything else.
Sir,
your
I
answer?
think, yeah.
Okay.
I just feel like this is a lot of prompts that I don't wanna go through
There's 2 options.
when I go to call somebody.
There's option
And
1
this is
and
the one I
option
pulled
2.
out of my
So there
folder.
should be option 1 is gonna be up through, and then this starts.
Police is first, fire
second.
second,
Option
Third
2
is
starts on
road.
page 18 and 19. So there's option 1, which is like 3 pages long, and then option 2 is 1.5 pages. So
That would
there are
be.
2 different
I-
options to choose
I
from.
think that would be the same as this.
I'm sure it is, yeah. I think you're right.
Did you happen to look at
Oh, I did.
at the one that's a page and a half versus?
See, this is the only, so we don't get confused. These are the only changes that I was looking at in red. There's only a few. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm just trying to make 3 changes.
He's looking at the Roman Township Police. I gotta move to County Village. Option one.
I don't call country.
It's a,
They've always had their own programs. So we never use this.
yes, it is.
Yeah, but this is in addition to,
No, it's not an addition. No. If you look, I have my own notes.
okay,
What I'm trying to do is just change, like it where it said, instead of it saying, press 9 for, press 9 for further information is fine. For the administration office, yours is perfectly fine, Robin. You can leave a message for you and et cetera. For the administration, so is that 7? Instead of pushing 7 for administration office, it should say for secretary, operator, one of those 2, you press 0. But that needs to be up here, let the people hear the options first, then go to operator. Don't send everything immediately to Nicole at the beginning because no one's gonna listen. They're gonna just, they're just gonna automatically wanna go to Nicole.
Can you look at page, do you have your?
I don't.
Okay.
And it's getting muddier with what he sent over, because like I said, the only thing that I was wanting to change is just like Jim's, just like yours, that's all I'm trying to do is for 3 people.
Just push the button.
Right. That's all I'm trying to do and make a 0. So the decision today is, now I got the narrative of the board then to go ahead and move forward with it. And this gentleman now is saying, well, we're going to come together and have a meeting. No, we're not. It's pretty simple. If the board is happy with these 3 changes, then we just make those 3 changes and we move on. I mean, we're spending a lot of time on this.
but those changes are for the 1 or 2.5 pages, right?
No, I have no idea why he's muddying the water. None of that is changes. None of those are changes. The only changes is what you read right here, 3 changes. That's it. The number still stays the same, the button still stays the same, the wording stays the same. It's just who picks up the phone is the difference. He asked me to do this and go through and list everything and then put in red the changes, and I did that. And now I'm getting this, that has nothing to do with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I apologize for when you count the 0. So you got 1, 2, 3, and then the 0, 4. Instead of 7. 7 would have said the administration office, dial, push whatever. So really, there's 3 changes, but if you want to make that,
Would you like more time, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Okay, can we do that?
we can.
Okay,
So
so
are we tabling the
we're gonna
discussion?
table it.
So you want it in the next meeting?
That or we can come together.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I would ask that if the consensus of, instead of having to come back for another meeting, if the consensus is fine, that you can make that call. I'd like to make a motion, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin County, Ohio, that the board met today on January 8th, 2026, in order to discuss the lineup of the phone service. If the favor of the board is to agree to the 3 changes, that you can appoint someone or take it upon yourself to make those, or let's say 4, because if you want to count that, 4 changes. Once you get the consensus of the board, that may deem necessary, that action can be taken place.
Explain it to me. I'm sorry, everybody. Explain it to
Okay,
me one
so
more time.
I got
You
that
want me to
motion, okay.
Go with the 4
Right,
changes that you're
right.
asking for.
Right.
And if I get the consensus
Of the board,
of the board, which
because
would
everyone's gonna
mean-
read it over,
Okay,
and if you get the consensus of the board, action can be taken place, because we've got a motion if it passes. Are you okay with that? Because if I say yes, you say no, and you say yes, then we're not gonna do it. We'll leave it where it's at. So alls we're doing is passing a motion that you have the ability to say, okay, we're changing it, or et cetera, because we're agreeing that if the board is the body of the board, if 2 yeses, then it can be changed. If it's 2 noes and 1 yes, then it can't be changed and we move on.
but I feel like that's you're putting me in a position to
Okay,
make
so
a
then we won't do that.
decision
So,
outside of a meeting.
well, we're making that decision here.
You're,
Okay, no, I got you, so let's not do that. So I like to rescind that motion that I made, and we'll bring this up for a other discussion at another time. If that's
Okay.
simpler.
So can I say that we're tabling till the next meeting for the moment? And then,
and
to the
it's gonna
next-
stay as is until the next meeting.
Yeah.
okay, so we're gonna table it till 1/22.
Thank you.
Uh-huh,
So we're moving on to new business, correct, ma'am?
yes.
Franklin County Sheriff's is not here, sir.
Correct.
And I don't see Patty Spence. And so discussion on security cameras, and that would be me, sir.
Okay?
In your packet, you should have,
You have my packet over there if you could, sir. The blue one, is that blue one mine?
Yeah.
The whole packet.
no, so, okay, yeah, but you know what, I've been going through it.
That's
So what
okay.
you're gonna need for this discussion is mine, and I'm gonna
Okay.
take yours.
Okay, that's fine.
And I'm gonna tell you what you got there. What you have there is I had the security camera that Steve Mazer a security company that Steve Mazer was working with, come out and, for a meeting, and we need, he had given some quotes to Mr. Mazer, and so I picked up on it. So I also did some business that you asked me to do. So we are in the mind, if the board is in agreement, that we would like to secure that old building because the employees are not gonna be in there on a daily basis. We have a lot of equipment in there and stuff.
Absolutely.
And so if you go to this sheet right here, we are going to, it tells you exactly what we're going to add. Byron was in on it, just so for your knowledge. We're going to add, well, we're really just adding.
For the price, it's
Three
a no-brainer. I think it's
You
great.
wanna know what we're doing, or you
Sure,
good
go
with
ahead.
where we're at?
I'm good with what we're doing. I have a consensus of seeing here where you're putting the cameras. And we talked, maybe you should go since Brenda's new, because when Mr. Mazer was here, we were looking at this almost exact same setup. The only thing different is inside the building of Mr. Stevens.
Correct, and
Old
then
building.
something that many of us talked about, that camera back in here.
Sure.
By old Jeff's old office.
Yes.
That'll be activated.
Okay.
A new camera will go in there,
Okay?
and so if you have enough information, do you need anything else, ma'am?
Nope, I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, so with that being said, I would ask, do we have something prepared for the cameras, ma'am?
No,
Sir, would you like me to?
I
craft
would, would
something?
you craft it?
Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, met in a public meeting on January 8th, 2026. This resolution, X is the number,
009,
009,
2026, 009.
that the board enter into contract with security cameras to place cameras in said zones as pointed out in meeting and Exhibit A. This will not exceed $1,300. And sir, if there is no further question on this, I'd happily entertain a second.
I'll second.
With that second, ma'am, a roll call when you're ready.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
trustee Blevins,
Yes.
trustee Fuller.
Yes.
And I'll get
Okay.
that typed up.
One thing I wanted to add real quick, John, Brenda, you'll be a part of this going forward. When we have the police department come in for their meeting
Okay.
of the gentlemen, you know what, I'm trying, Byron, what's it called, quarterly?
Yeah,
Meeting.
quarterly meeting.
We had discussed as a board, we were gonna fix a camera over top of their door for security purposes.
Yes.
That'll be done in
Okay,
here.
yeah, yeah.
We've not got it done yet, and
Yeah.
that'll be done in here, correct, sir?
For some reason, we seem to have kicked the can down the road.
Well, no, actually, it'd been worked on a little bit, but we were trying to save money and we were trying to use a camera. We're really not even purchasing a new camera for that, correct? We are moving.
We're
the
just
camera.
moving the one that's on.
I was gonna put it right over top of the door, but we had said we would do it, and I'm letting you know that
Gotcha.
under this, we will do two birds with one stone.
And sir, do you have in your office over there a monitor that you can see in real time, like things going on in the parking lot
Yeah,
and
it's right
around?
outside of my office.
Okay,
If I may say something,
Yeah.
that resolution number that you
Oh.
just gave is already assigned to something else.
So what do you do?
So
Back
Miss-
up, make it 10, John, my
okay, so
apologies.
would you like me to just I'd like to rescind,
Mhm.
at the pleasure of the
It's a
board,
duplicate number.
if I could rescind the last resolution number that I gave of 009, and this would be 0010, is that correct?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board entertains, that will go into contract with security cameras not to exceed $1,300.
That's kind of-
John, hold on.
Oh, Lord, 10's on the back. My apologies again. That's
Yes.
why it's hard to do these at the
Should
table.
be
Sure.
011.
So it's gonna be 11. There's no more left. So
Okay, no worries,
11.
0011. Not a
Thank
problem.
you.
I forgot there was a backside.
Me too. My apologies.
Okay, not a problem. So
So-
let's start again. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board enters into contract with Security Camera Systems not to exceed $1,300 for the implement of new cameras, camera J-Box, 1,000 watt Cat 5E riser cable, UNV 4MP Light Hunter camera. If there's no further questions in said camera work, I would ask for a second.
I second.
With that second, is there any other questions?
I do have a question before we go any further. Do we have to also rescind?
I did ask to rescind that, and we didn't vote on it, so
That's fine.
if we pass this one, then I'd like to go back and rescind.
That's what I wanted to make
Okay.
sure to clean everything up.
Yep.
So
Okay.
we are now voting on this one.
Mhm.
We have a second or we need a second?
I second it.
Well, we're not
Okay,
really,
so-
we
so what
don't
I'm-
need to rescind because we have those numbers on the agenda. So we're basically due to duplication.
Right,
We're just
right,
modifying.
and I will do that, I'll clean
Okay.
that up in
Yeah.
a second.
So we need a vote then. So we
Okay.
said we have a second.
Any other questions?
No, sir, roll call, right?
Roll call.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may, I'd like to clean up two different resolutions in which
Sure.
I attempted to use 009 and 0011. I do not wish to rescind those because those are being used for other purposes,
No, 10 is.
So it's 9 and 10.
9 and 10. So let me rephrase that. So I'd like to not rescind 009 and 0010.
We're just modifying.
We modified those. And I would ask to make a motion that those have been now modified. If there's no further questions, I'd ask for a second.
I'll second.
With the second, I'd ask for a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
trustee Blevins,
Yes.
trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that all put to bed, you think?
It's put to bed perfectly.
Thank you for all the help. I
No.
really do appreciate it, and that's
No
why
worries.
you're here.
That's okay.
No, not here, but I mean this seat here.
No,
No, I mean, I really do appreciate it. I'm not
No.
ever gonna take it for granted. I
Right,
will
and I
learn.
scribbled out 10 and circled 11, so that's
it's
why
okay.
I said, because I'm
Yeah.
looking at, I'm
we got a
reading what
lot
I
going on
write.
this agenda today.
So I'm gonna move on to, number 4, under new business, is the, discussion on the OTARMA risk management assessment. It's just a discussion, correct?
Yeah. I have
So-
handouts from the email. This will kind of help with it. So just, there's 3 of them here, and I just highlighted the part from Otarma that you guys are gonna be discussing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so,
That's the email.
Mr. Chairman, I got a email in regards to a date. Is this the same email corresponding to, was it Otarma that wanted to meet with us, or am I?
No, that's something totally
Okay.
different. What this refers to is change, basically, we are not in compliance, basically not compliance, but their recommendations. We pay this, for them to come and tell us how to,
Implement changes as far as
as far
secure.
as risk management and things
Gotcha.
like that. And we have went in and changed, some codes on the doors and everything. And, basically, not everybody was all involved in it. And so it is, I would recommend that we all look this through, but for a lack of the time of the year, we have had changes of employees and stuff like that. What I'd like to move on today, if we could, is to come to an agreement that we have the, door codes all changed, all of them. We've only had one. There was some people that, said that they didn't receive the information, and other people got it, and so we can move on from that, but it's been recommended that we change, there's other things in here, but for the lack of the time for today, we need to address the doors of our buildings.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Sure,
I would suggest that we do a fact finding on biometrics, different doors that either you have like a credit card, you can come in.
I discussed that with this guy yesterday, and I have some information from him,
Okay.
but I don't want to discuss it today. I didn't get it disseminated. We had the meeting with the camera people on Tuesday. He got this back to us on Wednesday, and we're sitting here today. So I did not have time, but whether we change to a door that is a key card or whatever, we need to secure our buildings and change the codes on the doors.
I agree. So at some point, sir, if I may, I would like to make a motion giving the chairman permission to seek a fact finding cost-wise and what it would cost to secure our township doors up to date, either via key code or thumbprint or a card or
I can
something.
give you the information now. It's approximately $2,500 a door.
Okay? Do you want to check other vendors?
Yeah, I think we should, but
So-
again,
So can we have a motion so that you are protected under a motion, so that you're just, the motion does not say we're doing it. A motion is just saying we're recognizing that we are looking into that. The reason for the motion is it shows action for Otarma to see if something happens, that we were currently taking upon ourselves to see what we could do to better secure our assets.
so I'm happy to do that, but can we please pass
At your- Yes,
can we
sir.
please pass something on whether or not we're going to address the building securities and change the codes on the doors? That's basically what I'd like to do right now. And Brenda, you've said nothing, so are you understanding where we're at? I know you're new. I've never, I did have a conversation with you on this before you were a trustee. And so how do you feel? And I'm good. I started to work with this while I had the gentleman here. I asked him, Byron sat in on the meeting. I asked him the question. I just didn't bring it up today because I'm not prepared.
I understand,
haven't
sir.
had time to be prepared. An hour and 10 minutes ago, I was asked to move over to this chair. And so I would rather come back, and I can bring that information back in 2 weeks, and we can definitely talk about that. But for the sake of today, I would like a motion that says it's okay to secure the buildings at the township. I'm not saying they're not secured now, but they need to be changed. They should have been changed periodically through the year. You should stop using the codes that you are using. It's all in that assessment. And so I'm asking for movement today to give everyone's blessing that we can have this, these codes moved,
So,
changed.
so Mr. Chairman, if you will make that motion?
Well, I just wrote, I can write that all down, and then you just ask for a discussion in a second. You literally already said the motion, you literally have. So you would ask for any discussion on the locks, for changing the existing locks, and then ask for a second. Because you really
So the
already have.
motion was just spoke
I mean,
out.
you literally have already said the motion. You
Okay.
literally did. So you would just ask for any discussion related to the locks currently on the buildings.
Okay,
And if there's discussion on changing those.
okay,
And then you would ask for a second and do your roll call.
okay, so I've obviously already stated it, and you've got it jotted down what I stated, so is there any discussion on what I stated? None? Brenda? It's muddy, isn't it? And I apologize.
It's
All
okay.
I'm gonna break it down. Robin's already wrote it down and she gets it. I just wanna make sure everybody in the public gets it. I just wanna change the codes on the doors. And then I'm going to, in the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna get with this company and I'm gonna come back in 2 weeks. But between now and 2 weeks, in the next 2 weeks, we're gonna have those codes changed so these buildings are secure and Otarma knows we're taking it serious.
And then what you're saying is then we're talking to these people about
And I'm
actually
gonna-
going a step further in getting key cards.
But that's not on
And-
this motion,
and-
that's,
Okay.
Right, right, but
Two
that's,
motions.
This is the discussion,
Mhm.
and, and I'm also gonna take John's advice, because I think it's great, and I've always asked for it too. I will find at least one or two other companies to get a quote from. And then we'll come back and be able
So
to
let's
discuss.
So,
do
Mr.
two
Chairman-
motions.
so Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yeah,
there is a motion on the floor.
Second.
I had no discussion. Did you have any other discussion?
no, I just think they need to be changed, periodically,
Okay.
yes.
So, Mr. Chairman, I think you're waiting for a second?
I am.
Okay, I would gladly second that.
Roll call, please.
Mhm. So it's trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
trustee Blevins,
Yes,
trustee Fuller,
Yes,
and then John, excuse me.
Mr.
We would
Chairman,
need
if
to
I
make
may.
that motion for the
Yes.
fact finding.
So, Mr. Chairman, I apologize for speaking out of turn a while ago and get muddy in the waters
no,
on
it's
that.
okay.
My motion, if I may
Sure.
make a motion,
Yes.
sir? I'd like to make a motion, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board appoints Mr. Blevins to do a security analysis on our doors for Franklin Township and bring us into the newest century of either biometrics or otherwise accessibility for employees when compromised, that we would be able to change codes, etc., and enlighten the board. And if there's no further questions, I would ask for a
I'll
second.
second it. Roll call, please.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
trustee Blevins,
Yes,
trustee Fuller.
yes.
Can-
So, Mr. Chairman, you are now the person that is seeking out this information, and also any other person that you wish, if you seek the help of the police chief or the road department, Mr. Stevens, guidance from anywhere, and then at some point we would meet on said information that you may have found.
okay,
Sorry.
go ahead.
I just want to circle back, Chairman, on the change of the existing lock codes. You're meaning all the buildings? I mean, you're talking about the firehouses, you're talking
I
about,
am,
okay, I just want to make sure that when I type this up, that it says all buildings.
right.
Okay, it's just clarification purposes.
I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more locks that need to be taken care of, which I wanted to go ahead and get taken care of before this, but I didn't we just didn't get it done correctly, and we're here today correcting that and
Yep.
doing it the proper way.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good, I appreciate
So-
the clarification.
Yep. So number 5, department assignment for trustees. So, in the past, we've had Mr. Leeser in charge of the road department, Mr. Blevins in charge of the fire department, Mr. Fleshman in charge of the police department, and Mr. Leeser also took clerical. Obviously, Mr. Leeser's not here anymore, and so I think we need to reassign these. And I like to call it liaison. We can call it whatever you want. Do you have something written up on this? where you're going to fill in the,
It's a motion, so no, I would just
Okay.
write it up and.
so are you okay? Is there any discussion on this?
Yes, sir. I've tossed and turned over this since we discussed it.
Okay,
Originally, when we decided to do call it liaison, I hate to use just the word liaison because if someone looks up the dictionary, what actions are we taking as individual trustees? We were trying to, for the last 6 months, since August 1st, help run this township without a day-to-day operation by having a person that each department head could, had an issue that they could go to, and then they could disseminate that throughout the board. Going forward, just me personally, I don't personally like that idea of it, and I'll go with whatever the board says. But the reason for that being is we should be a trustee to all of the departments, not just he's over this one, he's over that one, and et cetera. I don't know what the board's temperature is at the point in time of if and when we would get a administrator of some sort or a manager of some sort for the day-to-day operations. I don't know how long we intend to change the dynamics of the township to liaison for a board member. So I don't really know how it looks, the outcome, the rules, regulations. There's just a lot of host of questions of what does it mean and how do I act? What am I allowed to do? Things of that nature. Now, as far as being a trustee, I fully understand exactly what the law says and what I'm able to do and how I'm able to proceed. I understand us by being able to help by breaking it down. If it's on a temporary basis, if we say 6 months and to see where we're going to go, because I'm not asking for any kind of decision to have an administrator, I'm fine with that. So I'm just at the mindset, sir, that I don't know where we're going with this and how long we're going at this.
I guess I'm confused because I don't understand why you'd be concerned now and you weren't concerned, please, for the past 6 months. And so as far as the administrator, we do not have an administrator at this time. This would be no different. One of the main reasons that this came up is because Mr. Leeser is no longer here and we can't have him assigned to 2 of our departments. And so I'm of the mind that I would like to lay something out that breaks down the departments and trustees each take a department. And you're 100% right. When I said liaison, and I think this is how it's worked in the past, I didn't just run the fire department. The fire department gave me information and I disseminated it across the board to you and Mr. Leeser. And that's all I really want to do. I just wanted to change it up, and I have my reasons why we want to do it the way that I would like to lay it out. We shared thoughts last Saturday. We were here for 4 hours and we shared thoughts and we made no decisions, and now we're at a meeting and it's time to make decisions. So with that being said, do you have something you want to say, Brenda, or on this subject or anything?
No, I mean, I feel like, the department heads, they run themselves. They run their departments. That's why they are the department heads. So it's not really you doing anything for them. It is, they have a point person to report to if there's a problem within their department.
Or you want to respond?
No, go ahead, sir.
So, I understand that position as far as them being able to report to someone. But I just wanted to back up a moment. Yes, when Mr. Leeser was here, we went to this immediately after, we lost our administrator, and not knowing what direction we were going to go with an election going on, and not trying to rush to just put a administrator in, knowing that there's a new board. Under those circumstances, yes, if it made it easier for everybody to, until we figured out what we're going to do. But my purpose in this was to do this until we could see which direction we were going to go. But as a permanent type thing where each department reports to, or et cetera, to an individual, for me, one person, I'm no on that, because I think we all, this is where you report, is to the board at a meeting at this particular point. We have, Mr. Chairman, for a long time, we get interruptions from the audience, and as we're having these discussions, this can't continue to go on.
Come on. I'm gonna ask everybody, please hold your comments. It is very aggravating. Things are passionate and feel certain ways, but just please try to hold your comments to yourself and go on, sir.
Okay, because when that does, we're in the middle of something,
I
it
know.
breaks down what we're trying to do.
I agree.
So, if the chairman, if there is a immediate situation or something of that nature, generally, in my past practice with the township, the chairman would be notified, the chairman can notify the other trustees. At that point, it can be decided, do we need an emergency meeting to discuss an issue that is going on? The chairman can post that meeting and we can disseminate amongst the board what the situation is. When we have the problem is when you have a liaison or et cetera, it's still the same thing, but now you're working backwards, because now we're going to have to report to the trustees through each one, then determine if we're going to have a meeting or et cetera. But if there's a situation with scheduling or situation with different things, the reason that we have these meetings in front of a public is to be able to hear from that department head. Ms. Fuller, you did say that each department should know how to run their department, and I believe that's correct. So each one of us should not run a department head. If they have something that they need to bring to the board, they're sitting right here in our particular meeting. As trustees, that's how trustees, if you look at the Ohio Revised Code and how it's set up and how a board of three is set up, that is the purpose for that. Many years when I first got here, we never had an administrator, and the practice at that time was that of that. There was not one liaison for this one, or liaison for that one, or liaison for this one. It was a board of trustees that worked together. If there was an emergency or something of that nature, or a question, if Mr. Stevens had something, they're running, equipment broke or something, what do we want to do? They would reach out to the chairman then would disseminate that down from there. And if we needed a meeting would then follow.
Okay, anybody else got anything else to say?
Well, I see what you're saying, but, there's times that, you know yourself, you run a business, that you're not available. And there's times when Mike may not be available. And that's when these department heads, if they have an issue, they can go to any of us. But we're just saying, that
Day to day.
the day-to-day things, such as, hey, I got the lock guy out here and, we're trying to figure this out, but it's not working. How do you want me to secure these doors? Do you see what I'm saying? It's something that needs to be taken care of like right now. It's not that you're just managing them. They manage themselves just fine.
I understand that.
So it's just you're the point person. You're the one that would specialize in, I don't know how to say that.
Take your time.
The things about levies and things more so than Mike and I. So if you were going to put on a levy, you would know, you would have that connection with whatever department it is to be able to smooth line it.
I would be able to do that, disseminate that right here in a meeting and still work with that, just as we appointed Mr. Chairman to move forward with the locks. In a normal situation, you in a meeting would say, I would like to nominate John Fleshman to work with the fire department on their levy situation and bring back to the board.
Okay.
By me just being a liaison would not constitute me to be that person to bring that on. I believe that we're getting ourselves potentially in some muddy waters by taking the title of a trustee and now giving a new title of being a liaison on top of that. We were elected to be trustees
Right.
and not
No, go ahead.
liaisons. But I understand what you're saying about what a liaison is and what the job is. But we all can do that collectively as trustees. This is the first time we've ever, in 12 years, referred us as individuals that would work as liaisons. I don't believe it's going to change the dynamics per se of assimilating anything any quicker to any other department. So,
What do you call yourselves when you didn't have an administrator?
a trustee,
And you, and the department head, you were never over any departments?
never.
Okay, so all
Everybody
departments
worked together.
reported to everybody.
We work together with the board. So that's why you have a chairman and a vice chairman. As you said, if Mike wasn't available, then I would get the call and be available. And then I may say, call and let you know what happened. Hey, there's a guy out there doing X, Y, and Z. I can't ask you for a decision, but I would be able to say, I want you to be aware, I'd go ahead and told Jim to change that code because of X, Y, and Z. I'm going to send an email to Mike to let him know because he's on vacation. I don't want to bother him with a phone call. So as a board, the way it's supposed to be structured, that's why we're called trustees. And that we rule from this table here, and when they report to us, they're reporting to a board together collectively. This is why, if two of us are missing, you can't even have this meeting.
Right.
So, where I say we're muddying the waters, when we go to a liaison, it's only one trustee instead of two to have a meeting. Or three at the board. I don't know if we're breaking the law, I'm not gonna say we are, but I can see where decisions may need to be made, and as that liaison, that is putting me in a sticky area that I don't wanna tip my toe in, because I don't wanna go against the sunshine law. I'm not saying this is breaking the sunshine law, but I can tell you I'm getting close to the line. I feel in my heart that I'll be close to the line. I don't wanna leave anybody out. I don't wanna make a mistake and say, yeah, I talked with the X department, yeah, I did that, I said that. Well, then why didn't you let us know? I forgot. You know, if it's going to be said, if an action is going to need to be taken, it needs to be taken from this point forward as we've done in here, in my opinion. So that's just where I'm at. I think collectively we would be able to work together as a board, as a trustee, as a vice chair, and as chairman. And each of us disseminate different responsibilities. As we said in here, you're heading up the, whatever, I forgot.
Clerical?
What is it called? I'm sorry?
Oh, the One Ohio.
Yeah, the One Ohio, I forgot the name. Just like I'm handling the Westfield Mall. Those type of things that we break down and we bring back to the table, just as the contract that the board gave me permission to sign for the Westfield Mall, and then I bring the contract in and show it. Those are things that is designed as such, and that there is a motion or a resolution set in place for each person to do each. You just got a motion to be able to be the point person for that. So that's how I look at it, but it's up to you guys.
I'm thinking. Give me a second.
No worries. I'm not arguing, I just want to share my points, and like I said, if that's how you, if you guys decide that, then that's what
Well,
it
when
would
you
be.
throw up that we're breaking the sunshine law and stuff like that, so what goes through my mind is, and I'm happy to do it, the way you want to do it is, we will have to meet many more times. There'll be things that come up where there'll be department heads that need stuff and stuff like that, where when I worked with Bob, I contacted Bob and we kept in contact constantly together. And then I brought that back to the board. And I didn't make any decisions with Bob and everything. This is like a day-to-day operational thing. If they need something, then they come to us, and then we get together and say, hey, John and James, we need to get together for something that the fire department may need or something like that. I guess now that I think about it, I don't know that you ever came back and said that the police department needed something. I'm assuming they were good.
Yeah,
And so,
it seemed to
I have-
hum along pretty good.
so I am of the mind, everyone, to wait on this, and we will just work as a group for 2 more weeks, because I would like to check with Julie. I want to see if we're approaching breaking the sunshine law in any way, shape, or form. Better to be safe than sorry. And so I would ask this to be put on hold.
So,
until the
Mr.
next
Chairman, if
meeting.
I may, I want to go on record as saying, I'm not saying that we're breaking the sunshine law, but I said, what my comment was, is I feel like I'm getting close to that line.
I heard you.
So,
I've got it, and so we're
you
going
want to take a
to.
roll call on, or make a motion to table? something?
Okay, yes. I'll make a motion that we table the department assignments of trustees. And
Any discussion?
any discussion? Can I get a second?
I'll second that, sir.
Roll call.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
trustee Blevins,
Yes.
trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Robin, you can take 6 and 7, please.
These 2 resolutions were ones that Julie had sent over to you guys, not as much for you, Ms. Fuller.
Okay.
But these came over from the Auditors of the State Bulletin, which is attached, basically stating that we needed to put these policies into place. And so the one policy, the way it's worded, it doesn't seem as though it applies to the township, but in a sense it does. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to read the whole beginning of it, but I'll read the actual resolution itself. So because it does apply, I think because we do have a credit card that has rewards that apply to the credit card. So even though it says, I'll just read the resolution. A resolution adopting a policy regarding frequent flyer miles, reward points, and similar programs in accordance with the Auditors of the State Bulletin 2025-012. This is Resolution 2026-002. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, the adoption of the policy. The board hereby adopts and approves a frequent flyer mile and reward policy attached herein as Exhibit A in accordance with the guidance provided in Auditor of the State's Bulletin 2025-012 and applicable Ohio law. The policy adopted by this resolution shall apply to township officials, employees, and any other individual acting on behalf of the township as specified in the policy, and shall be implemented and administered by the township management. The board informs its intent that the township's practices concerning frequent flyer miles, reward points, and similar benefits comply with Ohio ethic law, auditor of state guidance, and generally accepted principles. The board finds and determines that all formal actions taken in adoption of this resolution were conducted in open meeting of the board, that all deliberations leading to the actions were conducted in compliance with section 12122 of Ohio Revised Code. This resolution shall be declared emergency and take effect immediately upon its adoption. The policy is attached along with the bulletin from the auditors of the state. And basically, if we had any opportunities or any reasons to be flying, like taking trips to a conference out of state, it kind of outlines for employees for hotel points, frequent flyer points, credit card rewards, how those are handled if applicable. So it's not a real high usage on our point, but we do get reward points on our credit card, and those points have monetary value, which are thus then applied to the credit card account itself. So there's no money, no one is getting those monetary rewards from our credit card. We turn around and apply that to our credit card bill. But because we do that, I thought this policy was applicable to the township.
I accept the resolution. Is there any discussion?
No, sir, I did see that come across, and I did read that from the auditor.
And Brenda, you're out. Brenda, that doesn't need to, whatever you said, Brenda didn't need to do this one, or should
Oh, she
that?
can, she can vote on
Is that
it.
any discussion?
I read
Right.
last week.
So, with no further discussion, I'll ask for a second.
Sir, I will second that.
Roll call.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll pass this down. Would you like me to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is another policy that Juliet sent over from the auditors. The state sent over they call these bulletins. And this one was sent out in October, November from Julie. Brenda, you can still vote on these things. It's just the reason why you wouldn't have received them early on.
Right,
Okay.
I was briefed on that.
Okay, very good.
So come to do the same in back, in that Robin Town, or do you want me to make a pile down here?
That's, I always did when it came, we went that way, so it doesn't matter to
Which way
me.
you like to do it.
How do you
Just
want
send it
this,
this way.
ma'am? Okay,
Thank you.
yeah, it'll be better next time.
We'll get it figured out. It's all good. It's new for everybody. All right, so this one's a resolution adopting a tax exempt certificate use sales tax reimbursement policy pursuant to the Auditors of State Bulletin 2025-013. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, adopts the tax exempt certificate use and sales tax reimbursement policy as attached. The purpose of this policy is to establish guidelines for the appropriate use of the township's tax exempt certificate and define when and how the township officials and employees will be reimbursed for authorized purchases made on behalf of the township. Be it further resolved that all former actions of this board concerning and relating to this resolution were passed in an open meeting of the board, that all deliberations of the board and any of its committees that resulted in such formal action were in a meeting open to the public in compliance with legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Be it further resolved, this resolution shall be declared an emergency, be in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption. And that's it. So basically, the policy outlines a tax exempt certificate and also how purchases are made and if they're approved purchases. And that basically, if a township employee or official would make a purchase and there would be tax included, then it also explains how that person would do everything in their power to get the tax taken off, like we've done in the past, but we didn't have a policy. We just kind of just did it. So this is really outlined from the auditor's office. And then also if an approved purchase, and this has happened a couple of times, where there's been an emergency, say on a weekend, Bob, where an employee has to go buy something on behalf of the township, an emergency, something from a fire truck or something, and tax is incurred for that employee because they don't have the tax exempt certificate, we have the ability to reimburse that staff for the tax. So that's all in the policy that came from the auditors of the state. So it's just a policy that follows the bulletin. So that's what that all means.
So it's a resolution. Okay. Any discussion? I'll ask for a second.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Fleshman.
Yes.
Trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Thank you.
When it comes to number 8, is the agreement with the BJG law firm. I would ask for that to be held over till the next meeting because I spoke with them and they're coming in for a meeting for all of us.
Okay.
So are you good with that, sir?
I'm good with that.
So do I need
Make a
to,
motion to
I would
table.
make a vote, yeah.
so,
Motion to table.
It's just a resolution number.
So,
Motion, would you like me to?
yeah, no, go ahead, I was just,
I'd like, if it pleases you, Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to table Resolution 2026004
yes.
Until when?
till,
Till-
desi- I was
think
gonna say
we-
until said time.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that'd be perfect. It's my turn. I accept as basically stated,
Mhm.
and I'll ask for discussion. No discussion, I'll ask for second.
I'll second.
Are you allowed a second when you made it? Do
Oh, I can't, you're right.
Hey,
You got me, you got me.
There we go. So-
I ain't learning, brother, you just gotta give me a second. But
You got me.
So
So
you
I
wanna
will second it,
that?
and
Okay.
ma'am, I'll ask for a roll call.
So just for clarification, trustee Fleshman put the motion on the table,
Yes, ma'am.
and Chairman Blevins seconded the motion.
Correct.
Okay, so we're doing a roll call at trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
trustee Blevins,
Yes,
trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Thank you.
public comments, and I don't believe we have any.
Wow.
So Byron, we're gonna roll into you, sir.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. It's been a long meeting. I don't mean to drag it on, but
Pick it up,
here we go.
pick it up.
What's up? Yeah. Sit on your lap.
Don't take too long.
I'm not. I'm just trying to get I got so much paperwork. It's a problem. I will start with the stats as soon as I find them. All right, so last year, 2025, we had total calls for service 10,668. That's about average, between 10 and 12,000. I don't remember if we did November, I know we didn't do December. So November calls for service were 912. December dropped a little to 810. I will go through the itemized stats for the year though. Assisting other units, 203. Burglaries in progress, 44. Bad checks, 12. DOAs, there were 10. 11 dog bites.
Bites or fights?
Bites.
Bites.
48 animal complaints, 383 non-injury crashes. It's a lot of wrecks.
Yeah.
390 domestics. It's not really surprising, that's kind of right there. 28 neighbor complaints, 41 alcohol-related incidents, 40 DUIs, 95 fights or assaults, 27 hit skips, 113 juvenile incidents, 351 thefts, 43 missing persons, 314 injury crashes. So that's almost 700 crashes total. 45 persons with a gun, 10 persons with a knife, 1,094 incident reports, 716 traffic citations, 8 sex offenses, 10 exposings, 28 injury hit skips, 21 robberies, 5 shooting incidents, 68 shots fired, 3 stabbings, 116 stolen vehicles, 49 recovered stolen vehicles, 2 suicides, 69 suicide attempts. It's a lot. 1,166 suspicious persons, 678 suspicious persons with a vehicle, 94 suspicious vehicles, 75 vandalisms, 92 threats, 152 mental health runs, 566 alarm drops, 1,464 traffic offenses, 35 overdoses, and we impounded 326 vehicles. Questions?
Busy. Question.
It is a busy area. All right, I'll try to follow the agenda. All right, so the last meeting of the year, I gave everyone the information for the new cruisers. I will try to find that here. Would the board like me to go through the quote? Have you had time to review it? Or do you just have
I have
questions?
reviewed it and I have no questions other than one. Will those new cars go out to the officers?
Yes.
I'm assuming, because I saw a full detailing and all that, so I just wanted to double check.
Yes.
That was my only question.
Okay. Any,
I have no other questions.
okay.
Can you read that then, sir? Is that what, are we doing?
Yeah, I'm looking for the resolution.
I saw a number here.
No, I got it. She gave me,
Okay, perfect.
I just had so
I'm not
many.
trying to impede on or anything, sir.
Oh, no, I trying to take a little less off of you, Robin.
It's okay.
Kind of fella. Resolution 2026-005, a resolution authorizing the purchase of 2 police cruisers from PAR. Where do I need to start? At the be it
I would
resolved?
just start here where it says therefore be resolved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio. The Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the purchase of 2 police cruisers from PAR at a total cost not to exceed $140,000. The Board of Trustees authorizes the Chief of Police or their designees to execute any and all documents necessary to complete this purchase in accordance with applicable laws and township policies. Be it further resolved that all formal actions of this board concerning and relating to the adoption of this resolution were passed in an open meeting of this board, and that all deliberations of this board and any of its committees that resulted in such formal action were in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the ORC. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall be declared in an emergency and in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption.
Accept the resolution as read. Any discussion?
Hearing none.
Well, I was waiting.
I know.
Okay, so yeah, hearing none, I'll ask for a second.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
trustee Blevins.
Yes.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Look ahead, sir. No, you're good, huh? Byron, do you want to move on to the?
Tasers?
Yes, sir.
While we were at the cars, I want to jump back, I'm sorry. So I sent everybody, we're trying to, when we first started replacing all of our cruisers, we went with kind of a cookie cutter design, which is used pretty much across the country. We came up with a slightly different design to kind of differentiate ourselves a little bit. I have one color photo. I know I sent it to everyone. I don't know if you printed it or not. You can pass this around. Oh, I think so.
Yeah, I made it in there.
Yeah. I don't think there's nothing required unless somebody has,
I thought that's what,
yeah.
that's
Let's
what
see,
you said, right?
6 TV, and from a distance, you look at that, looks like a news camera car, just because of the silver. Just the way it's printed. So, sir,
Yes.
Chief, one of the things that, many years ago, I was riding with an officer, and we were doing a report, and a helicopter kept going around us, and I'm walking around the car, I'm just stretching, and he's finishing up a report, and I'm like, what is this guy doing? And he actually radioed, wanting to know who we were. I'm like, well, how would he not know who we are? Because we don't have numbers on the roof.
Yeah, we do know.
Exactly, because from that point forward, that's where I said, we need to have those numbers so that they can determine who we are.
Right.
And looking at this, we're looking at the same style of car, is that correct?
The car's the same. I mean, it's a new model, but it's virtually the,
So the only difference, did we have something else that originally used to be on the bottom, Serve and Protect or something of that nature in blue?
it had the badge was in blue, and then it just said Franklin Township and Police.
Okay,
So it's just a slight variation.
okay.
Question.
I I do have a question. I thought I'd seen a revised copy of the new design had like a blue line right here.
There should be, isn't there a blue line in there?
Like a thick blue line.
Right there.
No, not there. It was like up
There
here.
there was a couple different variations, and when we looked at them, that was the one that seemed to look the nicest. It still has a blue line, it just has the gray.
In between it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, no, good.
Want that back there?
Sure. So with my massive stack of paperwork here. Next, it was probably, off the top of my head, 7 years ago when we purchased the tasers we have now. They typically have about a 5-year lifespan. They stop doing the updates on them. They stop servicing those, so they have to be replaced. So I called around other departments. There's really only one vendor. It's Taser. It's pretty much all you got. But Taser came up with a kind of a new program where they give you the tasers, the batteries, the cartridges, the training, and they completely warranty them. Now they have a 10-year program. So we will have the same cost. We will pay the cost over the course of 10 years. Like I said, it includes everything from batteries to cartridges to annual training to the tasers. When we hit year 6, they will automatically replace every taser with the newest taser. The old ones will go back, and the new ones will come out at no additional cost. We were able to lock this price in 2025 for the next 10 years, which they did say it will go up 8% each year if we didn't do that, which is probably true because they can, for, lack of another reason. They're the only vendor,
There's no
so,
competition.
yeah, there's no competition. Does the board have any, I know it's a lengthy quote, and there's a lot of information in there. Do you have any specific questions?
I spoke to you yesterday on my only one, and you answered it.
Okay.
You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I mean.
Oh, no, I remember. Yeah.
I know you remember it. But I just wanted to make sure that was gonna be good when we got onto it.
Right, 100%.
Yeah, so, anybody
Brenda?
ready to read the rest? Oh,
No,
she's-
I'm not picking on you, I just want to make sure you,
We're good.
okay. Let me see here. Resolution 2026-006. A resolution authorizing the purchase of tasers for the police department from Axon Enterprises Incorporated.
Right there.
Yeah. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio. The Board of Trustees hereby approves a purchase of conducted electrical weapons, tasers, and related services for the Franklin Township Police Department from Axon Enterprises Incorporated at an annual cost of $15,041.80 for 10 years for a total cost of $150,418. Be it further resolved that all formal actions of this board concerning and relating to the adoption of this resolution were passed in an open meeting of this board, and that all deliberations of this board and any of its committees that resulted in such formal action were in meetings open to the public and in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the ORC. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall be declared in an emergency and be in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption.
I accept the resolution as read. Any comments from anyone? Discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for a second.
I would second.
Ma'am, roll call?
Trustee Fletcher?
Yes.
Trustee Bowman?
Yes.
Trustee Bullock?
Yes.
Thank you. And then, John, I already said you had signed to lock in that price as the chairman of
Yes,
the
I did.
25. And you signed electronically. Do you mind signing this paper
I'd be
one?
happy to.
And so when it comes down the table, just that way it's with the resolution.
Yes, and to the board, that came across as a dire need because what we signed here as given permission as the chairman to sign the lock in the price. I got a call from a company and it didn't constitute as an actual signature because there wasn't an actual line. So therefore, I did a online signature to replace the signature that was done here in the meeting.
Thank you.
It was pretty cool how they did it because I've never seen it before. When they sent me the things, they had, I could pick the John Fleshman I wanted that looked the coolest and drag and drop it. I've never seen that before.
She signed that.
Back where that is. Yes.
Gotcha.
There you go. You want to go ahead, sir?
Absolutely. Next is the yearly car wash resolution. So we have 13 vehicles. One of them decommissioned, the other one has been partially decommissioned, meaning it will not be used for normal patrol use. So we will not necessarily need a car wash sticker for that one. Out of that, we have 9 that are marked. Counting the 2 new ones, we need a total of 11 car washes. I know that was a lot to spit out. Questions?
So I do believe,
Typo on here, just make sure you say 11.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
correct it.
Robin.
It's in that second bracket.
That's it.
Go ahead, sir.
so I do believe the cost, I know for my own car washes went up $2.
It did.
Okay, just seeing if you're
It
aware of
did.
that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it went up $2.
No worries.
So, any other comments or questions or anything? I'm good. If you want to read the resolution, Barbara?
Yep, resolution 2026-007. Be it resolved, the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio hereby approves and authorizes an agreement with Express Wash Holdco LLC, DBA as Moo Moo Car Wash. Cash wash?
Sorry. Again.
Sorry, I was reading it and,
In a very big hurry, so this can all be corrected.
yeah, for the purpose
Car wash.
of washing 11 non-management police officer vehicles in the amount not to exceed $2,904 for a period of 12 consecutive months, beginning March 1st, 2026, ending February 28th, 2027. Be it further resolved that billing for the car wash services shall be established on a month-to-month basis for 11 cruisers at the rate of $22 per cruiser per month for 1 year, with the township retaining the right to amend and/or cancel this agreement at any time. Exhibit A. Be it further resolved that all formal actions of this board concerning and relating to this resolution were passed in an open meeting of the board, and that all deliberations of the board and any of its committees that resulted in such formal action were in a meeting open to the public and in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the ORC. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall be declared an emergency and in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption.
I accept the resolution as read. Any discussion?
A comment, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just so the public knows, these car washes are unlimited, go through as many times as they want. Each shift could just run it through, keep them clean, and keep equipment shiny and bright for the taxpayers. Sir?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess the only comment I would share is, when I go through, it's always nice to see that, I feel like they're doing that. You know what I'm trying to say? Our cars seem to be kept well, and and this would be the time to comment, so that would be my only comment. Anything else?
Yeah, so why don't the other 2 cars get new car wash? Like Byron and Dave's cars.
It was determined by the board last year that because they're take-home vehicles, they were exempt from that.
But there's still police department vehicles that still need to be taken care of.
I'm aware.
So, Mr. Chairman, I agree totally, and I forgot about that being across the board. I would like to entertain a discussion if I may. Sure. In my discussion, sir, I would entertain, and 2 things. One, the 2 vehicles, since the car wash is just down the street, they're still representing, Ms. Fuller represented that, it is township property. And I do believe that keeping it clean and making it easier, the gentlemen are paying out of their own pocket to go power wash it and try to keep it clean. Being at one of these facilities, they wash it and it dries, they can sweep it out using their sweeper, and we're talking for $22 a month, and keeping the longevity of the looks of the car for even resale value later. But Chief, I have a question for you. Even the other two that are going to be used for special duty and et cetera, would it not behoove for the board to consider putting those on the same program due to the fact that they are representing Franklin Township? Or are they stepchildren?
One is gonna be
Gone.
one that we get rid of, so
Okay.
that one, yeah, we wouldn't do. The other one, we could, obviously, we're gonna have to keep it clean regardless. I don't know, I mean, that would be a board decision. I can see it both ways. It'll be parked more than it'll be, used for patrol, so it could be hand washed, but, I mean, it is 20
Curious
grand.
how much we're talking, for a car, like, I never broke down the math because I didn't know this was coming up, so how much is it? Anybody do the math?
$66 a month
It's $66 a month?
for 3 cars.
Oh, to include that one in the other two.
But we're really only looking at 2 because one's gonna be, well, your 2 and then that one.
It'd be total of 3.
It'd be $66 a month approximately, sir.
Okay, well, I cut it.
That would be a little over $60 a year. If I go by 10 months.
To amend the resolution.
So,
Mr. Chairman, if I may? Sure. I would ask that we amend the resolution, it's the pleasure of the board, to include all the vehicles.
14.
okay,
Okay. Just need to modify.
yes. Go ahead.
And, yes, I would like to modify said resolution 202607 to include all 14 vehicles at said price of $22 a month. If there's no further questions, sir, I would ask for a second.
I'm gonna make a comment.
Yes, sir.
So, I guess maybe I'm tipping my hand here or whatever, I'm probably not allowed to do it, but I will be a no vote on this resolution for the simple fact of taking a car home as a perk. And so I'm happy for it to go across the table. I wish we could have voted on the original one and then to add the 2 cars or the 3 cars that one got rolled in. But I was one of the ones that voted last year, and so I don't vote something and then change my stance on it. But when I voted on it before, I felt that way. I'm letting you know now, but that's all I have. So you want me to call for a second?
So, sir, if I may, any other questions on said motion? Hearing none, sir, oh, go ahead.
No, I don't have any
Okay,
questions.
so, sir, from that, if I may request a roll call.
Don't you need?
A second, did
I second it.
He seconded. So once I have the second, I'm just
All right,
requesting,
so, yeah.
if it's permission to
Sure.
have a roll call.
So I just want to make sure, trustee Fleshman placed the motion on the table to amend resolution 2026-007, and trustee Fuller has seconded the motion. And
That
so,
is correct.
okay, so now we're going to do roll call. It's trustee Fleshman,
Yes.
trustee Blevins,
No.
trustee Fuller.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
May, sir, Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yes.
comment. So I'd like to take us back a little bit in time with some of the vehicles. There were other car washes that prior to this, and people might be thinking at home, well, how did they get washed before? Or how much did it cost us before? Or who's responsible for taking care of it? And we were lucky that there was a few car wash, one that, I forget the name of it, but it was on West Broad Street over by the casino, that they gave us free car washes, and they took care of a lot of police departments that way. And at some point, the company has sold, changed names, and they no longer offer that service. I can tell you that there were some officers that went ahead and paid out of their own pocket every month to keep their own office clean. I say office because that's where they do their work. So by us being able to include all of these, there is an expectation, Chief. I would hope that you are, if the township, if the residents are paying this fee, that you see to it that the cars are in adequate condition and clean.
Cars are clean now.
Okay,
They'll
sir.
stay clean.
Thank you.
You want to move on to E, Byron?
Yes, sir. Okay, so this is the old 301. We've talked about it, meetings ago. Needed a new water pump system and probably exhaust. So this is the one, the oldest one, highest mileage. Probably about 128,000 miles and change on it right now that we'll be getting rid of. So I have that resolution. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that Section 1, the Board of Trustees hereby declares the 2017 Ford Explorer VIN number ending in 2910, formerly assigned to the Franklin Township Police Department, to be surplus, unneeded, and no longer required for township purposes. The Board of Trustees authorizes sale of the above described vehicle to the highest responsible buyer under terms and conditions determined to be in the best interest of Franklin Township, in full compliance with applicable provisions of the Ohio Revised Code and township policies. Section 3. The Chief of Police and/or appropriate township staff are hereby authorized and directed to take all actions necessary to complete the sale, including advertising, accepting bids or offers, executing any required documents, and depositing proceeds from the sale into the appropriate township fund. All proceeds from the sale of said vehicle shall be handled in accordance with applicable law. Be it further resolved that all formal actions of this board concerning and relating to this resolution were passed in an open meeting of the board, and that all deliberations of the board and any of its committees that resulted in such formal action were in a meeting open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including Section 121.22 of the ORC. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall be declared an emergency and in full force and effective immediately upon its adoption. Just to kind of piggy before you vote, typically what we try to do, because it's easier, is we sell a vehicle to another agency. The equipment, they kind of put you over a barrel. Very little of this equipment on the car can we reuse to another car, because as they change the cars, it doesn't fit. So we take out everything we can, meaning the radios and the radars and stuff like that, and that's already been done. So typically we try to find a smaller police agency. I think we sold one to Pickaway County a year or two ago.
And we've also donated before, places that were in need because we needed the cars.
We have. If we don't get any hits on that, then I will work with Jim about putting it on Gov Deals or kind of how you did your truck out front. Would be my plan.
Resolution is read. Any comments or concerns? Hearing none, I'll ask for a second.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
What's the question?
Yes.
Yes.
So, quick question. Sure. Would you like, rather than being silent, would you like to know that we have no comment? Would it be easier for you or just?
Oh, no, it doesn't matter, just kind of, like I said, we need to get it repetitive.
That's what I'm asking.
If it's easier to.
I mean, if you want me to say no, I have nothing.
Yeah, it's up to you, you're the chairman, by disseminating, or if you just take the pause as a no, then it's up to you.
No, that's.
Okay, so we'll pause, let's move on to,
As we're hearing none, that's where the hearing none comes
all
into play.
right, now let me try that, okay? I think, Kyron, you have one more if I'm not right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Last but not least, so typically we work very closely with the sheriff's office. So even though the township has, very limited input on the special duty rates and things like that, because we don't pay them, we typically follow whatever they do. They typically raise their rates every January. So I passed out to you guys right before the meeting the new rates. It will not require a resolution because it doesn't require the exchange of money from us. The vehicle rates are the same. The officers' rates, I believe, went up maybe $2 an hour, which again, we don't pay, so no resolution on your part is necessary. Possibly a motion, maybe, I don't know, Robin.
So just a motion for them acknowledging.
Yeah.
I mean, just acknowledge the fact that the police department has increased.
So at this point in time, if it pleasures the board, if it pleases the board, I'd like to make a motion that no changes for the coming year for special duty has been implemented at this time.
No,
Motion was read.
When, can I get that wrong?
yeah, that's not, there's no changes in the vehicle cruisers. I believe the actual,
Okay.
the actual rates have increased by about $2. So you could just say pursuant to whatever's under.
Okay, that's okay. So in pursuant to sell retired cruisers, is that correct? Is that what we're working on? So the motion to accept the new rates for special duty, correct?
Correct.
Cruisers that are used for special.
For the cruiser duty.
There's no increase, I'm sorry, there's no increase for
You
the
said that there
cruisers.
are no increases for the 2026 calendar year. If there's no further questions, I would ask for a second on the motion.
I'll second it.
Is that correct? There's no
No,
changes?
there are changes for the hourly rates, just not the cruiser rates
Okay.
is what we
Okay.
deal with.
So be resolved by the Board of Trustees, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, to note that there will not be any additional changes to the cars being used.
Cruiser
for
rental rate.
Cruisers cost for special duty only. If
Correct.
there's no further question, I'd ask for a second.
And I'll second it. And then we'll-
And a roll call, please. Is there any discussion? Hearing that there's no discussion, I would ask for a roll call. Yes.
Yes. If anybody else has anything, I don't have anything. John, do you have anything else?
I do not.
Brenda, do you have anything else for the chief?
Nothing? Sorry I didn't bring more.
Chief, you'll be next.
Thank you.
He
Much
just needs-
faster.
He just needs a second, sir.
You got it. Thank you.
Oh, I know.
I know. That's just the phone numbers. Make sure that's like.
I'm in the back.
I just figured I'd give you something to look at.
Hey, tell him, hanging on the wall, if you had to give dimensions to that, I'm just curious how big it is. Just a guess.
3 feet by 3 feet. At least, maybe 4 by 4.
Okay.
It's a good sized piece of ground.
I feel like, you know, always feel like you knew it, but I didn't know it, because when you sent it to me, I thought, I don't know. Okay.
Something I walk past every day. Well, something that we walk past every day. And so, for my part, welcome to 2026. Thank you for the opportunity. I'll give you some run numbers from last year. Our fire department took 8,475 runs. 7,258 of those were in the city of Columbus. That left 1,217 township runs that we took. That does not include township runs that Columbus handled by themselves without us. 60 structure fires. 5,414 EMS runs. We did have 38 cardiac arrests, and we got 29 of those hearts to start beating again before we got them to the hospital.
How many?
29 of the 38.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I threw in the inspection report too. It's not something I do every month, but just for the year, Todd did, or at least between Todd and a handful of us, but almost majority Todd, he did 463 business inspections or building inspections of township businesses last year. So the man's busy and stays busy. The only other item of business I had, it was asked for me just to bring it to the board in an open meeting. We have a plaque dedicated to the memory of firemen of Franklin Township up at Station 192. Big granite plaque, sits right inside the front doors. And we update it as people who have retired and given their entire career to Franklin Township and the service of our community. And once they have passed, we just put their name up on the board in recognition that, hey, you gave your life and career to Franklin Township. We'll throw your name on a wall. So we updated that this year since Scooter passed, and it hadn't been updated since 2011. So there were some extenuating circumstances. We involved a retired guy. He just went ahead and paid for it. I knew it was gonna be a lengthy process to get him paid back, him being retired on fixed income. The union took it upon themselves to pay him back, so he wasn't awaiting money and funding. This plaque does not represent the union in any way. It only represents Franklin Township, so I only feel that it's right that the fire department pays to update and keep this plaque updated. So you have a picture, I sent you the invoice and an email this week. I just simply need a nod or maybe a motion that says go ahead and
May I?
You want to speak?
repay the union.
Okay. We just had the audit, and here's a perfect example. If I was the liaison and et cetera with that, and I would have said, you know, that's good, and then I bring it back to the board.
Mhm.
This is no different than toothpaste coming out of the tube. You can't get it back in. I don't know how legally that we can refund something that we didn't okay. Because this should have came across the board
It doesn't meet the financial criteria
again.
for the board.
Okay, again, anytime that something is going to be placed on a wall in a fire department, the authority of the board should have been notarized prior to doing it versus someone just, if someone, let's just say this gentleman paid for this and he brought it, he wanted to put it up. You would come before the board to accept, just same as we would a grant. We're accepting it. Yes, thank you very much. But to do this and then hand us the bill, and we had no idea that this was taking place, without Julie's recommendation on this, I don't know how we can actually pay this legally. Maybe Robin can speak on it. I don't want to throw you in the middle of it, but I see issues later with an audit.
I did not put the plaque on the wall. It was already there. I am
Okay.
just
But what I'm
upkeeping it.
saying is, the plaque, it was altered, was it not? It was, something was added, changed,
For sure.
and corrected. Right. At what time was there going to be an expectation that this was gonna be a cost, to the Board of Trustees for Franklin Township? No different than you wish to do graphics, new graphics on a fire truck, and we didn't know nothing about it, you go ahead and do it, and then you hand us the bill.
But I keep up the fire department and I don't need the board's permission to,
Anytime there's an
Upkeep.
expenditure,
The-
there is an expectation that you would allow the board to, you just can't just, well, here's what happened is, and this person paid out of their pocket, and then, and this is me, they may feel differently. But as chief, you would have wanted us to know, other than in a meeting, I mean, I would be all for this, yes, but I'm taken out of the loop totally 100%, and now I'm given a bill. How much is the total? Was it $750? $750. And the board didn't have any directions, anything. And is it not out of the norm of the day-to-day operations? It's not like buying toilet paper, supplies, fire equipment stuff. It's something that was totally out of the norm.
I accept what you're saying and I will make sure to follow that and inform you in the future.
And that's all I have, sir.
So for me, Bob,
I'm asking
and I
for
think
a
you
motion.
already know that you sent that to us at the beginning of the week and there was some conversation back and forth. And so I've spent asking Nicole and people to look things up. I tried to get something historically so I could find something to bite my teeth into to give a yay or a nay, and I can't find it. So for me, I guess I'm going to go with what John said as far as I would love to have time to check with Julie to see if this can meet any criteria of being able to be paid out of taxpayers' money. But for me to sit here today and to give the okay, I can't do that.
Okay.
So Brenda,
You know, I love the sentiment of doing something special for somebody that it given their life in the line of duty. You know, I worked for post office for many years, and it was the union brothers and sisters that took up donations for plaques and things like that we did. Post office wasn't gonna pay for anything like that. And, you know, typically the union wasn't either. It was the membership that donated money at a union meeting or something. I mean, I'm with them. I'm not gonna be able to agree to this until after we talk to legal.
Okay.
So can we make a motion? No, who is gonna reach out from the board?
Well, can we designate Robin to reach out to, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it. Put me down. I will volunteer to reach out to have a conversation with Julie. And I would rather bring it back to the full board at the next meeting.
For sure.
And so it's all, everybody knows exactly where we're at and everything. And the only thing that I would like to add, I like what Brenda said about the membership type of thing. So I just want you to know, and you can relay the word to your men, if at some point they decide to do something the ilk that she spoke of take up a collection, that I would be happy to contribute. I know,
I would as well.
so I would like to maybe see a way of getting it back to your cost of $750. But I just don't think we can make a decision like that without checking her, so I will check with her and get back to you at the next meeting.
Fair enough.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Sure.
I'd like to make a motion.
Sure.
Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees, Franklin Township, Franklin County, Ohio, that the board tables said motion to pay approximately $750 for said plaque Ford Fire Department for reimbursement to retired firefighter until further information from law firm, if it's adequate, that we are able to refund that, and then reapply to the board for reimbursement.
So well, we didn't assign who's gonna reach out to law firms, so that we
I'll add
check.
that. I'll add
Yeah,
that.
can we just
Mike
put,
said that he was going to.
Right.
But can you put that in the
Put it
motion?
I am now.
Okay, okay.
And we appoint that the chairperson will reach out to our legal team to further give us guidance on such motion.
Without any further discussion, I will second that.
Okay?
Roll call.
Is there any other questions?
No.
Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call.
Trustee Fleshman?
Yes.
Trustee Blevins?
Yes.
Trustee Fuller?
Yes.
Okay, great. Great.
That's all I have.
I have one for you, Bob. I got in touch with you and then you sent something out afterwards, but could you speak on the fire that happened in the township as much as you're allowed to?
Oh, yeah, there was
I know you just sent something out and there's a purpose for me asking, so do you mind sharing whatever it is you're allowed to share? And I'm speaking of Bellmead.
For sure. There was a residential fire on Bellmead, no injuries, no one was hurt. There was decent amount of damage to the home. It's under investigation. Yeah.
And then my purpose for asking is, who took, what fire department took care of that, putting that fire out?
Columbus.
Yeah, so, what's it called?
Mutual aid.
Mutual aid goes both ways, and I thought it deemed it necessary today to say that. And then you told me when I talked to you that both of our investigators were on the scene and took care of it, but
Yep.
I just need people to realize when we have people come in and beat the drum about mutual aid one way, and it's just not necessarily true. It isn't true, and that Columbus does do their part as much as when we have need, they're there. Let's leave it at that. And that's all I have, either
And
anybody else.
I did, since you brought that up, I did send out requests to get just an average of the response times to 193's area,
Yes,
just to see what that delay was. Is it growing? Is it staying the same? I know the last time I looked, it was around 45 seconds. Average delay, that's not including outliers. There's certainly gonna be times where people in this area are gonna be waiting a significant amount of time. But they said they can get that information, it might take a minute to compile it.
and it's, when you have it,
It's come.
it was just something that I'd asked in a conversation.
good.
I didn't even bring it up.
The
here
request
today.
was made.
Yep. I appreciate it. That's all I have. You good?
The only thing I was gonna say, for the people that watch this and say, why do we run into the city of Columbus? Ask that homeowner, were they happy to have the assistance of Columbus because of our mutual aid agreement? When you're in need, you don't care what color the vehicle is, you just want someone there.
Thank you, sir.
You got,
Mr. Stevens.
I don't have anything for the board today.
All of that, and you don't have anything
Oh,
after
no.
2.5 hours?
No.
Well,
The
I
next,
do,
the next meeting, we have a situation in Briggsdale where I need to put up some more signage, so I'll be bringing in a resolution.
I do have something.
Unacceptable.
I do have something for Jim that I would need to bring up with the board. So when we spoke on securing that building out there, there is a door that needs to go up and it's ready to go and to go up. And so, do we need to move on it, or are we allowed to have him put the door up? We're trying to secure the building.
Yes.
So the building is secure, and that's why we're adding the cameras. And I didn't bring that up because I thought it was gonna have Jim at the podium, and then when he said he didn't have anything. So how do we decide, or how do we go about it, is I guess what my question is. to
Yes,
you.
sir. So, you think I got all the answers?
Well, you're doing good so far today, sir,
So there's two ways to look at this. One of the things that we got in trouble with is, and when I say in trouble, and this is part of what the audit is, sometimes if we use the road department to do certain things out of their scale, even though we're saying taxpayers because we got the man and the know-how to do it and et cetera, sometimes we get ourselves not so favorable by the auditor. My thing is, I think that what we need to do is make a resolution based upon the approval of our legal counsel that we can have the road department do said work on their own facility, just so that we don't put ourselves in hot water. And we can make that resolution today based upon that. And if we get the blessing, then the chairman can say it came back from Julie, send an email, or we'd have Robin send an email, and then they could start.
To that point, I could be the in charge person, because I'm gonna talk to her already about
Sure.
this thing for the fire department, and I will talk to her about this with Jim, so if you wanna craft
I can
something
do
that says
that,
that.
I have it right here.
We can, yep.
What is the